Hi everyone, my name is Clare Chiusano, and I'm excited today to do this interview with one of our former alumni. But first, before we introduce her, I'd like to introduce Irene Pepe.
Hi, hello everyone.
And now I'd like to introduce Adél Kéri.
Hello everyone.
And today we'll be interviewing her on her experience here at ITL Group whenever she was an intern here. So this is part of our alumni series, and we're really excited. So to get right into it, Adél, when did you start learning Italian, and can you tell us why?
Yes, I actually started learning Italian while I was in high school. One important fact is that I went to a French high school, which gave me the advantage and the opportunity to learn other Romance languages in quite a quick way. So I definitely wanted to take advantage of it, and I started learning Portuguese and Italian at the same time on my very own. So at the very beginning, I basically had no help, but I had a lot of Italian friends who I met online, and they were helping me constantly. I was constantly asking them for corrections, etc., etc., and it was very useful because in this way you learn to communicate in a very quick and in a very efficient way. So a quick jump. In 2019, I took my first Thai language exam. That was a B2 level. And in 2 years, I already did the C2 exam, which was basically essential to me since I studied translation and literally translation at Ca' Foscari from Italian to Russian and vice versa. And it was very important. When it comes to my reasons, honestly, I've always been attracted to Italian culture. That really amazed me, and I always thought it was fascinating in all of its aspects, especially when it comes to literature and culture. You know, Italy, Hungary is basically seen as the country of the paradise itself on the earth. So that was really, let's say, a very eternal attraction.
Awesome, thank you. No, I'm with you on this land of dreams. Italy is. We think the same thing in America, so.
I absolutely agree.
So, how was your Italian language knowledge? How was it useful during the internship, and how does it continue to be useful now?
I think it was basically essential since with Irene and with quite a huge part of the team, we were communicating in Italian. I also thought it was fascinating that all of my Hungarian colleagues, or 95% of them, spoke perfect Italian, and it was also very motivating because I had the chance. I had the chance to ask for help, for example, when it comes to legal and financial translations, which is also very important to get your work reviewed and assessed constantly by some supervisor. And when it comes to, for example, my teammates who were majoritarily Italian, it was also a huge advantage to be able to communicate with them. So, for example, when you translate something from Hungarian to Italian and vice versa, you have to keep in mind that usually these translations also require a different mindset. And it was a huge advantage that I had Italians by my side, and I would always ask them for help when it comes to cultural differences, when it comes to differences in tax system, for example. So it was absolutely an advantage to ask them directly about it. And how it continues to be useful while I'm finishing my MA degree at Ca' Foscari right now. And of course, my whole degree was taught in Italian and in Russian. So Italian was definitely essential to me.
Awesome, thank you. So more about your experience here. Can you tell us about your favorite project at work while you were here?
My favorite project was contacting investors and making interviews with them. That's actually a topic that requires not only huge patience but also very advanced communication skills. And I'm very glad that I had Irene by my side and would always be able to ask for help or reviewing what I was writing, because it's very important to get a direct review on your work. And I think Irene did an amazing job and helped me to learn.
but I have to jump in and say that you rarely make any mistake, never. So it was very easy to check your text and your translations. But
Thank you very much, indeed. And it was a huge help from you as well to getting a review in a very quick way. And as I basically said, contacting embassies and honorary consulates was my favorite task. Also because I work in the diplomatic field, and it's very important to keep in touch constantly with your partners and to always practice this kind of communication, because diplomatic communication could be very tricky. You have to learn how to put the words in order to achieve your goals, and in order to make your partner feel that they also achieve their own goal. That's very important. It's about mutual advantages. And this was my favorite task because it would help me a lot to ameliorate furtherly my communication and my foreign language skills.
Great, thank you. I heard that while you were here, you also were working on a project where you interviewed Hungarian women that were in Italy and have their own businesses there. Can you tell us a little bit about that? It sounds very, very fascinating.
Yes, it was a very interesting project, definitely, and I'm so glad that I received a huge help from Irene and from the rest of the team for this project. It was very important. Basically, I had in my mind a few names that I wanted to contact and to realize an interview with. I already knew this women for quite a long time. I'm talking about several years. They were quite famous in Hungarian circles in Italy. Basically, they all run blogs. They publish regularly about their daily life in Italy. And the first thing that caught my attention years ago, it was how hard is it as an Eastern European woman when you are definitely subject to a lot of stereotypes, basically. How hard is it to find a job in Italy, especially if you hold a university degree? That can be quite tricky, even if you speak the language perfectly. And I wanted to ask them about their experiences because I had in mind an idea about helping all the Hungarian community, especially people in my situation who are studying at Italian universities and who speak Italian but had no idea about how to find a job in Italy. So I thought that it would be a mutually advantageous experience for us to interview them and get their point of view, and for them to get to know us, because in this way they might contact ITL Group in the future if they have any inquiries about getting in touch with the first company who's the point of connection between Italy and Hungary. And I'm very glad when it comes to this project, because I think that we did quite an extensive job with Irene when it comes to these interviews, and we gathered a lot of experiences, and I really hope it's going to be useful to members of the Hungarian community abroad.
Awesome, thank you. And last but not least, you told us that you're working on a master's right now in Italy, that you're almost done, which is very exciting. Congratulations. Do you have any plans for the future, or do you have some kind of idea in mind whenever you finish?
Yes, actually, I decided to come back to Budapest because I think the city is absolutely fascinating in all of its aspects. It doesn't matter when you come to visit the city; it's just always so graceful, so beautiful. Actually, I would like to stay in the diplomatic field. That's very important to me. Right now I hold 5 C1 level international language certificates, which helps a lot in the diplomatic field because you have to communicate with partners from all around the world. I'm actually thinking about getting a job at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Hungary, but I would also like to work with several international organizations, including UN, UNICEF, or IMO, which is basically the International Immigration Office, which helps mainly Ukrainian refugees who have been coming to Hungary since the start of the Russian-Ukrainian war. And I think it's very important because I've been volunteering as a teacher and as an interpreter for Ukrainian persons, for Russian speakers and for Ukrainian speakers both. I think it's very important to help them, especially in such a situation.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for giving us your time today and very quickly, short notice too. Irene, do you have anything to add?
I'm very excited to get to know that you're thinking to come back to Budapest. I'm very happy. Cannot wait to see you again. And it
Thank
was
you.
a pleasure to have you in the team. So I really think that you will be an asset for any company or international organization. So I'm cheering for you and for them.
Thank you very much, Irene. That's so kind.
Thank you.
And thank you,
very
Claire.
much. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.